What makes us Filipino isn't just found in books or history lessons. It's in how we speak, how we care, and how we face life. It's in the quiet strength of loob, the brave heart behind bahala na, and the slow but warm rhythm of Filipino time. These ideas may sound simple, but they carry the way we love, fight, and hope. They show how we value people, how we trust in something bigger, and how we move through life with both courage and kindness. Whether through a sword, a pen, or a quiet stand for what's right, each one shows a different kinds of loob. These stories remind us that Filipino philosophy isn't just something we study, it's something we live every day.
Let's begin with the concept of loob. In Filipino philosophy, loob goes beyond the physical. It refers to our inner self, our character, and conscience, and moral core. It is the source of our intentions and actions. Having a magandang loob means to have good intentions and compassions for others. The phrase bahala na is often misunderstood. It's not just about being lazy, it's a deep-seated belief rooted in the word bathala or God. Bahala na is a demonstration of fortitude, of will and faith. A willingness to face a challenge even when the outcome is uncertain.
Another unique concept is Filipino time. While often associated with tardiness, it also reveals a flexible view of time where a person values relationships and personal connections over a strict schedule. Now, let's see how the concept of loob is reflected in the lives of our heroes and the notable philosophers.
Unitin ng sedula.
Andres Bonifacio demonstrated loob ng lakas, fortitude of will, and loob ng pagkilos, the will to act. He used his bravery to unite Filipinos for the revolution, showing that his inner conviction pushed him to act despite the danger. Andres Bonifacio is considered a Filipino philosopher not because he held academic titles, but because of the depth of his ideas, the clarity of his convictions, and the way he used thought to inspire action. Bonifacio didn't just fight with weapons, he fought with ideas. In his essay, Ang Dapat Mabatid ng Mga Tagalog, he asked Filipinos to awaken their minds and hearts, to recognize their dignity, and to rise against oppression. His writings reflects a clear philosophy that freedom is not given, it is claimed through unity and courage. Unlike the elite reformers of his time, Bonifacio believed that ordinary Filipinos had the right and the power to shape their futures. His philosophy was rooted in loob ng bayan, the will of the people, showing that a true change begins from within, not from above. Bonifacio's ideas weren't just written, they were lived. He founded the Katipunan, a revolutionary movement built on the belief that Filipinos could govern themselves. His actions embodied loob ng pagkilos, the will to act, a core value in Filipino thought. Bonifacio didn't see the revolution as a fight between government and citizens. He saw it as a battle between the colonized and the colonizers, a philosophical stance that centers justice, identity, and moral responsibility. In short, Bonifacio was a philosopher of the people. His mind was sharp, his heart was brave, and his words still echo in the soul of the Filipino. He showed that philosophy isn't just found in books, it's found in the choices we make for our nation.
Rolando Gripaldo, a modern Filipino philosopher who showed loob ng pag-iisip or fortitude of intellect and loob ng paninindigan or the will to stand for one's beliefs. He used his intellectual prowess to analyze and explain Filipino concepts like loob. He demonstrated a deep appreciation for our own philosophy.
Rolando M. Gripaldo is widely recognized as one of the key figures in Filipino philosophy. Gripaldo didn't just study philosophy, he helped shape what it means to philosophize a Filipino. He argued that Filipino philosophy isn't just folk wisdom or cultural habits, but a serious intellectual tradition rooted in reflection, ethics, and identity. He authored and edited numerous books, essays, and bibliographies that map out Filipino philosophical ideas. His work covered topics like pagkatao, ethics, metaphysics, and epistemology. He didn't just develop his own ideas, he also highlighted the work of other Filipino philosophers, helping build a community of thinkers who could speak on their own experiences and struggles.
Lapu-Lapu exhibited loob ng tapang or fortitude of courage and loob ng pagtatanggol or the will to defend. He fearlessly faced foreign invaders to protect his people and land.
In 1521, Lapu-Lapu led the resistance against Ferdinand Magellan in the Battle of Mactan. He didn't have guns or armor, just conviction. His courage wasn't just physical, it came from within. That's loob in action, the will to defend what matters, even when the odds are against you. Lapu-Lapu didn't just fight for fame, he fought to protect his land, his people, and his way of life.
Marcelo del Pilar. He demonstrated loob ng paglilingkod or the will to serve and loob ng panulat or the will of the pen. He used his writings as a weapon against injustice. He showcased his commitment to the country through his words.
Marcelo del Pilar was a leader of the propaganda movement in Spain, alongside Jose Rizal and Josiano Lopez Chena. His work wasn't just political, it was deeply moral. He believed in awakening the Filipino conscience, encouraging people to think critically and act with dignity. Del Pilar's philosophy was lived, not just written. He stood up to the friars in his hometown, was imprisoned for his beliefs, and later exiled to Spain, even in poverty and sickness. he continued writing and fighting for reform, showing loob ng paninindigan, the will to stand firm in one's beliefs. He became a Filipino philosopher by embodying the very values he wrote about: courage, conscience, and compassion. He didn't just think, he acted, and that's what makes his philosophy truly Filipino.
Negosyo o kalayaan, bayan o sariling pumili ka!
Antonio Luna showed loob ng disiplina or the will for discipline and loob ng liderato or the will for leadership. As a general, he implemented strict military discipline and demonstrated fearless leadership, all in the service of achieving victory for the Philippines.
Negosyo o kalayaan, bayan o sarili, pumili ka!
Antonio Luna is often remembered as a fiery general, but beneath the uniform was a sharp mind, shaped by science, discipline, and a deep sense of national identity. While he wasn't a philosopher in the traditional academic sense, many scholars and historians view him as a philosopher of action, someone whose ideas and principles were lived, not just written. Before becoming a general, Luna earned a doctorate in pharmacy in Europe and conducted a research on malaria. His training in science gave him a methodical, analytical approach to problems, whether in medicine or military strategy. This intellectual discipline reflects loob ng pag-iisip, fortitude of intellect, a key trait in Filipino philosophy. Luna was known for his military standards. He believed that freedom could not be won without order, unity, and sacrifice. His insistence on discipline wasn't just tactical, it was moral. It showed that his belief that the Filipino must rise not only in arms but in character. Luna's writings and leadership were driven by a desire to define and defend what it meant to be a Filipino. He saw the revolution not just a war, but a philosophical stand against colonialism, a fight for dignity, sovereignty, and paninindigan. Despite internal conflicts and betrayal, Luna remained committed to the cause. His death was tragic, but it cemented his legacy as someone who stood firm in his beliefs, an embodiment of loob ng paninindigan, the will to stand for one's principle.
These concepts are a vital part of our identity as Filipinos. The ideas and teachings of our own philosophers reflects not only deep principles, but also the lived experiences, struggles, and aspirations of our people. By studying and understanding them, we are able to see how Filipino thinkers interpreted freedom, truth, morality, and nationhood within the context of our culture and history. This helps us better comprehend the challenges faced by our own ancestors, the wisdom they offered in response, and the ways they sought to shape a more just and meaningful society. In embracing their contributions, we not only honor their legacy, but also strengthen our awareness of who we are as a nation and how we can contribute to grow in thought and action.